governors. Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco.
The Department of Justice will not rest and will not hesitate to protect the American people in our fight against international terrorism and in our efforts to hold corporate wrongdoers accountable.
Prosecutors say Lafarge has agreed to pay about $778 million in fines and forfeitures. President Biden's expected to announce a new plan today to but it's contingent on how Democrats do in next month's midterms. In the seemingly unlikely event they hold on to control in the House and expand their majority in the Senate, Mr. Biden abortion rights by the 50th anniversary of Roe v. Wade in late January. Not different this Christmas than last for retailers, thanks to inflation and the possibility of a recession. CBS's Nancy Chen.
It's already the most wonderful time of year to find work for the holidays.
People want some extra money, especially during the holiday season.
After struggling to fill shifts the past 2 years, Jason Mabel, Coast operations for clothing retailer Splendid, kicked off holiday hiring earlier than ever.
A teacher might have off during a few weeks during the holiday season, and they want to come in and pick up some shifts.
And with holiday costs expected to increase this year by 6%, people are looking for ways to keep up.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says nearly a third of the power stations in his country have been destroyed by Russian airstrikes in the past week, causing massive blackouts. Correspondent Holly Williams has more.
There were Russian strikes across the country this morning, and they seem to be targeting the energy and water supply. A plant in Kyiv ahead of Ukraine's harsh winter.
Britain's brand new prime minister could be on borrowed time.
Liz Truss insists she's still the right person for the top job, one day after her new finance minister axed those budget-busting tax cuts for the rich, which so unnerved markets and infuriated voters. Opposition lawmaker Rachel Reeves.
An arsonist is still an arsonist, even when they turn up with a bucket of water and run back into the burning building.
Truss, though, signaling she's staying put. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Just in, Amazon Albany, New York have overwhelmingly rejected a bid to unionize, dealing the labor group leading the fight another loss. The Dow is up 198 points. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
This is LA's Morning News.
On KNX News, 97.1 FM.
The people you know.
The voices you trust.
9:03. I'm Mike Simpson.
I'm Vicki Moore. They're gathering at City Hall again this morning. Activists outside, a lot of them demanding that Gil Cedillo and Kevin De Leon resign. And inside, it's going to be a meeting today.
Ever since the scandal exploded, there's been overwhelming pressure on the 3 city council members who were involved to resign. Nuri Martinez did last week, but Kevin De Leon and Gil Cedillo have so far resisted the pressure to quit. They're under fire over racist remarks that were leaked out.
That sentiment is reflected in their policies. Unable and unfit for office.
She's a member of Black Lives Matter. Protesters, though, caused quite a scene during council meetings last week, and the Friday meeting was scrapped altogether, but the council is going to try to go back to work online today. Interim Council President Mitch O'Farrell.
What I have to do is make sure that this council is not held hostage because 2 additional members refused to resign.
He insists the meeting is taking place online because of a COVID exposure, but the protest hearing from the public. At City Hall, John Baird, KNX News 97.1 FM.
The vice president has left after that quick trip to L.A. Left a lot of traffic in her wake this morning, though. Appeared with Congresswoman and L.A. mayoral candidate Karen Bass at a discussion in Mid-City of abortion rights.
Elections matter on this one, as with everything else. When I'm traveling the country, I remind folks, elections matter in terms of who your local prosecutor is. If you're in a state that has criminalized this, that matters.
Bass looking ahead to the election 3 weeks.
Freedom and liberty, we need to hold on to the House and the Senate. I'm just saying.
Rick Russo campaigning in Mar Vista Town Hall, concentrating on homelessness and crime.
Yeah, the president is supposed to make an announcement later today saying that if his party holds on to the House and Senate, that one of the first things he'll do in the next term is to try to introduce something that would codify abortion rights.
So more on that throughout the day here on KNX 905.
Traffic with Jennifer York.
All right, so the latest is at 405 south of the 101. I guess it's close to Valley Vista. We've had this overturned car. A couple of lanes are blocked. It's hard for me to get exact information on it. I was told by someone who literally actually was kind of smart. He actually got on at Valley Vista. I don't know how he did it because it's right there. But apparently it's right there enough to where you can actually, when you get on, you miss it. And he said, I didn't see any cars going southbound. Like, they're all stuck there. Let me just tell you, the backup, it's all the way to the 118. So I don't think you should try the 405 at all. Now, I'm looking at Beverly Glen. Now, I know Valley Vista is crazy to try to get on Beverly Glen, but if you can get on it, it's moving. And Benedict Canyon's even better. So I would do that. I'm looking at Coldwater. Not so good. Laurel Canyon, not so good. The 170 south is very heavy from Victory, heading into the Cuenca Pass, where they've had the Highland off-ramp shut down. It looks like possibly that's still the case. Nothing working on the 5 of the 134, apparently, but I think what happened was a lot of people were like, I'm not doing the 405, I'm not doing the 170, and they jumped over to the Golden State. That's why that's been heavy pretty much all morning long across the valley floor, heading into East Los Angeles. Overturned car in the east are at 10. Walnut Grove, that's in the heart of Rosemead. They've got at least the carpool, possibly left lane blocked there. I think everybody's okay. There's about a mile back about that eastbound 10. And then we had an earlier west 10 at Soto. I guess it's cleared. I'm not even sure what it was. I just heard about it from a tipster, and that got you back up to El Monte. And then also we had a motorcycle crash on the North 5 north of the East LA interchange, which is it's clear, but it's sluggish out of Norwalk on that northbound 5 as well. Our next traffic report is at 9:15. The Hills Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
Warming up a little more today, so 70s, 80s, 90s, same stories we get to tomorrow, and then cooler for the end of the week. 69 now, Culver City, in Irvine 67, Sherman Oaks 74.
The gas cards, or the debit cards for the gas price relief or inflation relief from the state of California, they've been going. But there's been a problem. Some of the people said they couldn't access money because the phone number required to activate the card just didn't work. State was supposed to fix it as of last night. They were sending the cards out. The LA Times says that after it reached out to the State Franchise Tax Board, the recorded number was updated. State officials say it could take weeks to get out all those debit cards in the mail. But a lot of people, some people are getting the debit cards, but other people are getting it that direct deposit into your bank account. And again, to get anything could be months.
So far, everyone.
Nope.
All right, we'll keep waiting. California catching up when it comes to home insurance discounts. Emily Valdez says the state is making a change.
People in some hurricane-prone states get discounts if they make their homes hurricane-resistant. Now, California is doing the same for home and business owners in fire-prone areas.
With wildfires, up until not that long ago, insurance companies had been insisting that there was nothing that you could do.
Amy Bach is with United Policyholders.
We have convinced them otherwise, and by we, I mean the Department of Insurance, United Policyholders, firefighters, a working group that I have been running for a couple of years.
Property owners will need a defensible space, have a Class 8 roof, and no wood or bushes touching their home. Emily Valdez, KNX News 97.1 FM.
Narcan. A lot of schools have it in Los Angeles now after they had those overdose issues, but now the County of Los Angeles is talking about putting them in the libraries. That's the word from our Margaret Carrero.
It is an issue of great concern given the recent overdoses among high school students from pills likely laced with fentanyl. If approved, the motion by Supervisor Janice Hahn would direct the Department of Public Health to assist the Los Angeles County Library with obtaining naloxone, known by the common, and maintaining its availability on site at county libraries.
So that kids who are hanging out in the libraries after school, or even if they're nearby and they feel like one of their friends has been poisoned by fentanyl, they can rush into one of our county libraries and get Narcan administered.
Her motion would also direct public health to offer training to county library staff volunteers on how to identify an overdose and safely administer naloxone. Hahn says they're also looking at the possibility of libraries being Margaret Carrero, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Lots of ways to listen to LA's morning news on KNX 97.1 FM. That's just one of the spots. Online, if you're in front of a computer, we're always there for you at knxnews.com, streaming free on the Odyssey app, and that's